That looks super creepy. Looks like pieces of the foundation have collapsed.
The Erie Islands are a world unlike anything you have ever imagined. Separated from the mainland of Ohio by the aquamarine brilliance of Lake Erie, some are bustling with human activity, while others are cloaked with the allure of adventure. Today we are kayaking toward the shore of North Bass Island. The smallest and northernmost of the 3 Bass Islands, this landmass is nearly uninhabited by humans. Our primary goal was to explore the island's interior as we search for native animal species. And in the process, we happened upon the haunting remains of an abandoned farmstead. This crumbling structure had nearly been swallowed back into the island's underbelly, forgotten by time and those who must have once lived here. The dense overgrowth of vegetation made it nearly impenetrable, yet in my mind, it was a lost piece of history that I simply had to explore.
And you come this direction, you can see the front porch right there, and that is the entryway. So what I'm gonna do now is explore the interior of this abandoned house. Hopefully it's not haunted. Let's go, guys. Going up the stairs. Looks like a pretty solid structure. This house is likely over 100 years old. Look at all of this debris. And this is the front door. Whoa. Old carpet. Wow, look at that. It's like a cellar down there. That looks super creepy. Gonna try to not fall through the floor. Now Mario's on the outside, scouting for pieces of wood that we can flip that might have snakes under them. Actually, here's a piece of wood right here. See if there's anything under it. There's a lot of bird nests in here. Nothing. This used to be the fireplace right here. Check that out. All falling apart. You go this way into the main, what was likely a dining room with another fireplace. Off to the side here, looks like this was a washroom. Look at that, an old tub. And you can see that the structure is so soundly built that it's still standing. Look at the paint chipping off the walls. That is solid. Whoa. Don't trip, Coyote. And you go this direction. Now, it's actually a great place to look for snakes because they could be hiding up in the rafters. There's the basement. Look at that. That looks way too dangerous to go down into. There's an old refrigerator. Looks like pieces of the foundation have collapsed. Those are the stairs right there. That looks like a good place for a horror movie to begin, so I'm gonna just avoid that. Going back this direction, you've got, wow, this must have been a back family room maybe, or maybe also a kitchen. Look at the linoleum floor. It's all breaking apart. This looks like perhaps it was a walkout to something. It's filled with scrap trash. Scrap trash, if that's a real word. This is a side deck. Look at this. Come out onto the back porch. This direction. Down there into the woods. You can see pieces of the chimney actually that have collapsed off right there in the underbrush. Now guys, it's important to note that a location like this is very dangerous. You should never enter an abandoned structure without a safety team. Of course, I have Mario waiting on the outside just in case something were to happen, but definitely a dangerous thing you wouldn't want to do by yourself. I'm going upstairs now. Ooh. I'll tell you what, during the daylight, it's not that scary, but at night, this would definitely feel like a horror movie for sure. Look at this. There's an old mattress all falling apart. You've got wasps flying around in here, mud wasps that have built their homes, their little nests up in the corners. Check this out. This must have been a bedroom. Look at that up there. Those are all mud wasp nests. And there you've got a swallow nest. Crazy. You can see where the ceiling's beginning to collapse in right there. We're gonna just avoid that. This is actually the roof out above the back porch. And you can see how all of the forest has just grown onto the structure. All right, let's go this way. This is a no-cut take. This is like a Howlin' with the Pack haunted house exploration. Ooh, going this direction. This was probably a back bedroom. Wow, look at this. The forest and all of this debris. Maybe that was a garage structure at some point in time. And look at this view out the back. Get the exposure there. That is the vast, expansive nature of North Bass Island right there. Pretty cool looking. Wow. Now I would guess that this structure is well over 100 years old. It's clearly been abandoned for a long time. There's a bathroom back there. Not much to see. I'm very careful going down these stairs. I'm sure this is dark. Whoa. Very narrow stairwell. It'd be tough to squeeze furniture up that thing. We're back to the downstairs level now. And what I do not see are any snakes, or any animals for that matter at the moment. Just an abandoned structure taken over by wasps and birds. Well, let's go meet up with Mario. He is on the outside looking for snakes. He hasn't called me yet, so I'm thinking he has not found anything. But we will continue our search for the snake species here on North Bass Island. Well, that's pretty cool. Exploring an abandoned house. I'm Coyote Peterson. Be brave. Stay wild. We'll see you on the next location. Mario! Where'd you go, buddy? I made it out alive. Oh, there he is. I made it!
Exploring an abandoned structure that appears to be lost in time certainly brings with it a sense of daring adventure. Yet at the same time, it also carries a heightened chance of perilous danger. Never explore an environment like this alone, and always make sure to have the proper permissions before breaking trail into an area or a structure that may be considered private property. If you thought exploring an abandoned farmstead was thrilling, make sure to go back and watch the episode where we explored the ruins of the historic Fort Gorges. And don't forget, subscribe so you can join me and the crew on our next location.
Where's Mario? Where'd he go? Hey, Coyote!
I don't know where Coyote is at. I don't know where Mark is at. I'm lost. And I think the tide came in and our kayaks got swept away.